Well, howdy ho, my peeps, and welcome to my finished phase one of the garden. I'm done planting, and now I just want to show you what it looks like and talk about where everything came from. You can see my English lavender right there. I've planted that on the outside of the fence. The entire fence is going to be surrounded by English lavender. I'll probably end up with around 20 bushes or so. Now we are going to head in through the front gate, and you can see what I see when I come to work every morning. That's my little entryway and some tables and stuff, places to sit. I brought the rosemary from home. You can see the little ladders there. They came from 2 orchard ladders that my sister gave me. Grant cut them down, and I'm using them there in the front as decor, and then I've also got them around the yard as trellises. The oil can and the oil heater my grandfather gave me, as he did all of these metal containers, buckets you can see that I've planted and put on the ladder. I finally got, there's a little bicycle. I picked that up for $3. No, I picked that up for free at a auction after they were done auctioning stuff. They had a big pile of junk, so I drug that out. I've added a lot of hanging stuff, including the basket over the bike. That's a trellis that I made to support my jasmine, which is one of the few plants I actually bought. There's an Australian tea tree, and another little hanging basket. At least 95% of these plants were all found in dumpsters around town through the COVID lockdown. That's what I was doing. I was going to dumpsters. Oh, Lord. I'm such a scrounge. Anyway, I tied it together with pieces of burlap, and I really like it. Let's see. Okay, found that concrete container. It was curbside pickup. It was trash. That little table set was my mom's. She used to sit at that and smoke and drink her coffee, and we'd talk for hours. I found that little boxwood. I'm going to make a little tree out of that. Let's see. What else do we have to look at? Oh, both the table and the chairs were free. Somebody was throwing those out. That little lantern you see, my grandfather gave me years ago. There's another part of the orchard ladder I'm using to be a trellis. All of those roses I found in the trash, as I did the forsythia there. All those plants found in the trash. That wheelbarrow was a $3 find at a yard sale up here. Lots and lots of these containers that you're looking at, I either got them as roadside pickups or they were things I brought from my old house before I even moved up to the mountains. I didn't do a lot of buying of things after I moved up here. Let's see, those 4 roses I just panned past, those I actually bought back before I realized I could get plants for free. And I think I've got some kind of something killing off my petunias. That pig bench and little statue my mom gave me. Let's see, what else do we see that's new? Grant and I found those wine barrels. I bought 6 of them. He cut them in half for me, and I've got my white sage growing in there, along with this and that. Just different things I found in the trash. That is a pineapple sage you see down there in the pot. I got some strawberries there in pots. You can see the garden that Virginia planted. Everything is just looking wonderful. It's about time to harvest a few things. That little bunny bench also came from my mother's garden. And that other bench my neighbor made and gave to me. It's perfect for sitting out in the vegetable garden and watering. I love the little bunny bench. It's got a round stepping stone on top of a snake hole. I just was afraid the dang thing would crawl out and bite me when I wasn't looking, so I covered up the hole. That manure spreader wagon, my dad was on my dad's property. Here I've got my little collection of rosemary. I'm going to hopefully make a rosemary hedge here, there. And I got sunflowers out in a barrel. A lion bench also came from my mom's garden. And what else do we have down there? Some geranium and grasses and some miniature roses in pots. I've got some butterfly bushes back there that are finally beginning to grow. And I've got a bougainvillea right there along with the Spanish lavender. My friend gave me the bougainvillea for Mother's Day. That was so sweet. And another vista of the vegetable garden. So this is what I look at when I'm sitting in that corner. Another oil heater my grandfather gave me. I've got 3 more rosemaries there. The one center is a bay bush, and I've got another Spanish lavender. That is my not too happy Carolina jessamine. It may have a fungus. In between is a very small jasmine that's just beginning to bloom, grow, and it's doing well. See, it might have a fungus, or maybe it might have gophers. I don't know. And those are just assorted stuff I found in the trash. All of these river rocks, or most of them, came from my parents' house. I drug them all over here when we had it for sale. Another miniature rose and some little things I'm not really sure what they are. The horse trough has 3 big red geraniums in it, and boy, do they love that location. I've recently deadheaded them, but they just bloom and bloom and bloom. That little 7-Up cooler has a hibiscus, a beautiful red hardy hibiscus in it. And I can take that inside or cover it during cold weather. That has that cosmic petunia in it. It's so cool. It's a dark purple with little white spots. It's really neat. And the purple bench that I put together and painted years ago. That tree chunk that you don't really see very well, it's on the ground. That was at the place when I moved back, when I bought it, actually. It's always been here. I sit there at that little bench and I water and I watch the traffic, shake my fist like an old lady, keep off my lawn! You know, it's a lot of fun. There's the porch, the pink and purple little bistro set my son gave me, and I painted it. You'll see all of my English lavenders still in their 1-gallon containers. I'm a little afraid to plant them right now because it's so hot. But on the other hand, they do need to get into the ground, so I may do it. I've got a lot of geraniums and zonal geraniums. I found a ton of those in the trash, and they do so well in my yard. I've got petunias up there hanging, and my wonderful, what's that thing called? Wind chime. Yep. Strawberry pot belonged to my mom. The hose pot belonged to my mom as well. So this is what the yard looks like from this vista. There's the infamous rock, and a little dog that my neighbor made for me, and a sewing machine that Grant found in the trash for me. And this is ever changing. The impatiens have done real well, but I've tried different plants there that just didn't work. I still have to put the rest of that moss in. And that moss, it's really happy till I put it in, then it dies. I think maybe the cats might be chewing on it. So, and I love my wind chimes. Alrighty, now we're going to come up on the porch. I've got a hanging plant right there. It's a petunia. That was a free chair my sister gave me. Let's see. More hanging plants and a little hummingbird feeder that they don't come to because there's no red on it. I need to paint something red so they will come to it. I don't want to color the water. I've heard that's not good for them. Again, another picture of of my table that my son found for free for me. His neighbor was throwing that out. I made the little mosaic pot that I keep my hand tools in. And I keep that cage out so I can bring Pearl outside and let her enjoy the outside without being in danger. And there I have a little kitty sleeping next to my old box with twigs in it. And again, my wonderful, beautiful wind chime that makes such a beautiful noise. And those 2 black pots, they were free. Somebody was moving, just giving them away. I got the milk can from my grandfather, and there's a free asparagus fern that the cats love to play in, which I think you will see here just in a second. And I do believe that brings us to the end of the tour. Thanks for coming with me. And now we're going to see just a little bit of kitten happiness. Boy, they love lying in that asparagus fern, particularly right after I've watered it because it's nice and cool. Bless their little kitty cat hearts. Okie dokie, my peeps. I will come back at you probably with a Munch Pack review in the next few days. Bye-bye.